Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now, let's hear from our host, Andy Albright.
Hey, guys.
Whoa.
Does anybody else feel like you got more done today than most people get done in a week? You feel like that, Adam?
I feel like that today for sure.
You gotta unmute yours now. Click on your unmute. How about you, Rojas?
Man, we are rocking and rolling, baby.
So this is straight up Pellegrino. They're gonna. I don't know if they can. Y'all see everybody at one time, or is it little screens across the top?
I see you and Brian.
Okay. All right. We're missing Leventovich's. Hope y'all are getting Kevin on, finding him. He's probably closing one more deal. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We'll catch him up when he gets here. So I advertised that 2 people made over $200,000 first year with us. I fibbed a little bit because one of them didn't quite make $200,000. I'm gonna have to look it up. I know it was close. The other one, I fibbed a little bit too because he made over $250,000 first year. Not 200, not over 200. Oh, 250 is like over 200,000. That's like way over. The other one was a little bit under. So I used an average. Okay, that's where I got to that. Spencer, my son, if you would post on those live Facebook messages and tell those ladies to jump on this call, that way we should not be seeing texting going on. What we should be seeing is they should be watching this and making more money. You with me? You know what I'm saying? They got this like 100 of them in this text message thing, and they should be watching this. Now, if they're watching this and doing it, that's cool. But we need to make sure we need to drive more people to these calls. I just talked to a super sharp 47-year-old guy. I guess what he said. And he called me this morning. I was on the phone. I could only talk with him briefly. And then, I interrupted a call like this to take a call from this dude. Super sharp, Major League Baseball player, all kinds of good stuff. Family man, just great stuff. I figured that out in 5 minutes. I said, I'll call you back. Well, I did call him back right before I went live, and I said, you got to get on this call. He said, what's it about? And I like this. He says, what are we selling, by the way? I'm in. I just want to know what we're selling. I said, we're selling hope, not dope. He's like, hope, not dope. I said, yeah, pom-pom. What's pom-pom stand for? Plenty of money and peace of mind. That's what we're selling. Pom-pom. And he said, sounds like insurance. I said, you got that right. It's insurance, baby. We got sophisticated insurance. And we got very simple insurance. I love to talk to people about the borough insurance. Let me tell you my judge of character, Adam, when I'm recruiting. If they get excited about simple borough experience insurance and knocking on doors and going around the back and make sure they're home, that's my boys. Yeah. If they're like, well, I have been known to hang up on somebody, especially when I had this kind of phone where you pick it up like this right here. I'd take it at bam, 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 trying to wake them up out of their slumber, But when I go, dude, that sounds crazy, I'm going like, you're my guy. Because it's printing money, because you can close. Do 8 a day. I said, do 8 a day. Let's say you're averaging $800. That's $8,000 a day. Your next challenge is getting people to work more than 1 day a week. Mm-hmm. He's like, is that a problem? I said, what do you think? He said, I know it's a problem. I was just kidding. I was like, I'm starting to like you a lot. Then I went live. Then I started talking to you guys. So Adam, welcome to the Alliance.
Thank you.
You are a name on the leaderboard. You are a prominent name on the leaderboard. And Davies would tell me, this guy's awesome. You're going to love him. I can't wait for you to meet Adam and Cindy, right? Is it Cindy?
That's right.
So you got to meet Adam and Cindy. And so it was a pleasure to get to hang around you a little bit at the convention that we just had in Dallas. And, I appreciate you jumping on the call and helping out. And I appreciate you being at our convention because you already, you killed it. And I think you did come to other big events that we've had.
Oh yeah, all of them.
So you've been at every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible too. Not just the money, but hey, you got an event, I'm going to be there. That's such a great follower which leads to being a great leader. There is no great leaders that weren't great followers. But so if you would just introduce yourself, tell us a little about your family, a little your background, how you know Mr. Davies, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Stephen's a close personal friend of mine. I've known him for a long, long time now. And I was in a situation where I needed to make a career change about coming up on 2 years ago now. And so I got in touch with Stephen and said, okay, I'm ready. It's time. And so he took me by the hand, so to speak, and just kind of showed me what it is I needed to do. So I got myself licensed very quickly. I got leads. I started ordering leads through my GMR as quickly as possible, and I was just out there pounding the pavement as almost immediately, just working the leads. And the first 6 months, I was averaging probably around 8,000 a month for the first 6 months in 2021 that I was doing this, and then in 2022, yeah, I was honestly I don't know what my gross was or because Cindy does that for me. I just focus on sales. And Cindy takes care of the bookkeeping, and she says what I need to make, and I go out there and make it. So I do what I'm told.
And so were you a pastor, or are you just over pastors?
Yeah. Yeah, I was a minister, a full-time minister. I cared for 20 congregations in Pennsylvania, and I was diagnosed with a very serious health problem, and I almost lost my life over it back in. It first reared its head in January 2021, and fortunately, I was able to survive it. But I didn't have the energy, the ability to give the congregations what they really needed any longer. It's caring for 20 congregations is a heavy load, and so I had to leave that work.
I'm not trying to press the details, but you confused me a little bit when you said you got something almost killed you. And you almost lost your wife. So
No.
Is it a medical condition that hit you both, or because your medical condition made you almost lose? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I almost lost my life. My wife has been, yeah, she's, last year she had a serious illness, but she's doing very well now, but she was there by my side through the whole thing. So were all my friends and my family, like Stephen and Holly.
So you didn't say I almost lost my wife. You almost lost your life.
Right. Exactly.
Got it. Yeah. I got hearing aids in, but they didn't interpret it correctly. And kids, do you have children? Y'all have children?
No, sir. No, sir.
Kids.
We do not have children. No.
Dogs, cats, lizards.
I've got a little dog. Her name is Heidi. She's a miniature dachshund, weighs about 7 pounds, 4 ounces. She's 2 years old, and she is absolutely adorable. She's actually a service animal for me. So, often when I travel, I take her with me because she helps me stay alive. She's a trained service dog.
Come on and say, hey, baby. Did you meet Adam? Cream and sugar. There's cream and sugar in this?
The fake sugar.
The fake sugar. Thank you so much. Come over here and say hey. You look great.
Hey.
Good afternoon.
Rojas, Brian, Burge.
Have you met Adam?
I met him at the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. You going? Okay. All right.
Great. See y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So, there he is. Unmute, brother. Kevin.
Hey, what's up, sir?
And I connected y'all two, right? The convention. Y'all get a minute or two to exchange. I think I showed you exchange numbers and connected.
Not really, but we talked a little bit.
All right. A little bit. That's the start. How old are you, Kevin?
43.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you was mid-40s too, so y'all right in there. How about you, Rojas? Are you in your 30s yet? Are you 20-something?
I'm 33.
33.
Young man.
Young man. So I really have two different worlds here, I think. I was telling him, Kevin, that I advertised 200,000. I slightly fibbed a little bit because I think yours was just under, but also Adams was way over. So on average, I'm dead on it. What was your gross, Kevin?
I don't know. I didn't look.
I'm gonna ask Robbie to shoot it to me. Robbie, shoot it to me, or Mike Leventovich shoot it to me. It might be over 200. You never know, because I know your December was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I had a couple cases that I don't know if they cleared in December or January.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Still so impressive. Rojas, what did you make first year that you were with us?
My first year
Yeah.
with y'all? Oh,
Yeah.
God, man. 28,000.
That's what I was thinking in your 30 something, 28 is pretty close.
Not
You
including
were,
leads.
what'd you say?
I said not including leads, baby.
Not including leads. You how old were you when you started Rojas?
I was 27 years old.
Okay. She's been with us 6. All right. What'd you gross last year?
Over 245,000.
Okay. All right. Not bad, Adam, to do that first year, huh? I'm saying it to you, Rojas. Not bad for Adam. To do
Not
this.
bad at all. Not bad
Hey,
at all.
listen, money's not everything. I tell people this all the time. I get it. I just put it right up there with oxygen and air and peace of mind and stuff like that. And I know it's not everything. I'm clearly, if I had to pick, I'd pick air. If I had to pick, I'd pick oxygen. If I had to pick happy, I'd pick happy. But if I had those, I'd pick money. I like doing something that matters to. I love the high morals of this. But a little bit, Kevin, a lot of people don't know you yet. And a lot of people think that everybody knows them just because their inner circle knows them. But high level, we've done it with Adam. You know, are you married? Do you have kids? How old are they? Do you have dogs? You know, what's your career background, education background? I do want to come back to Adam's education, but talk to us a minute here, Kevin.
Yes, sir. So my name is Kevin Lewis. Hey, everybody. Started late. I was picking up a check. But I am a former Army officer. I was in the Army for almost 21 years. My beautiful bride Kendra, she's been with me the entire time. We got together in 97. Been married for since 03, so we hit 20 years this year. We got 2 boys who are both taller than me now. Unfortunately, I can't punch them in the throat anymore. But they are 15 and 17, and my 17-year-old is itching to turn 18 so he can get his license. So we're looking forward to that. But just blessed to be here, and I'm having a good time while doing it.
You know, you can start building his hierarchy before he turns 18.
I think Mike did tell me that. I need to start.
I'd put him in the system. I'd fast track him so he gets the emails. I'd put him on Mike and Noel's, WhatsApp, put him on, you know what I mean? Then bring him in. I had my kids in so daggum early. Now, we didn't have the option of fast tracking, but they were in. Both of them got their license when I'll say both of them. I'm not sure if Haley did when she was 18. I'm not sure she ever did. But she had Brandon. She married, married a killer. So, well, Dig, welcome to the team. What's your education background, Adam? Did you any formal?
Yeah, so I graduated from high school and started working immediately. I started my own business, and that business paid for my sister to go to college. She has her degree in engineering, her doctorate in engineering, an MBA, and a degree in marketing and advertising from Northwestern University. So I couldn't go to college and pay for her college, so she went to college, and she's got four degrees, including a PhD.
Good job. Yeah, I'd say practically you have those degrees. They're yours. You paid for them.
I sure did. Yeah, paid a lot of money. Northwestern's not cheap.
That's what I hear. I ain't never thought about paying nobody to go there, but I hear it's expensive. Did you say my mind's going, Kevin, did you say your education? Did you do your Jackson State thing?
No, I went to the Jackson State University. I got my degrees in computer science, mathematics, and while I was in the Army, I went to University of Missouri and got my master's in civil engineering.
You broke up there, bro. Did it break up for you, Rojas, also?
Yes, sir, it did.
Yeah, hit that again. The Jackson State University. And what'd you do?
The Jackson State University. My undergrad degrees were mathematics, computer science, and then while I was in the Army paid for me to go to the University of Missouri and get my degree in civil engineering.
Nice. So I'm really good friends with that coach at the University of Missouri, head football coach. Can't think of his name right now, but I'm really good friends with him. Jackson, the Jackson State University. Is computer science, is that what you said? It broke up both times. Computer science degree?
Yes. computer science and math.
So I will say this. How about you, Rojas? What's your education background?
I graduated in high school, and I went to school for aviation mechanics just to figure out that I did not like nuts and bolts. I'm more of a Macy's guy. You know, I like colognes and shirts and whatnot. So
I see that in you. I see that in you. I got a lot of those traits myself. I call it my feminine side. That's what I like to call it.
well,
I say, feel my hands. Feel my hands. So here's what I'm offering. We've got so many brand new people that are super intelligent, super smart. Okay, and I advertise like this: if you don't think you're smart and you don't think you're a worker, this call might not be for you. See, it's funny. The FTC's been cracking down on companies telling people that you can get rich quick, it's easy, it's free. I want to be the opposite of that. Okay, I want to be the opposite of that. I'm saying if you won't work and you ain't smart, you're going to have to either go back to school or read a bunch of books. You're going to have to come to every meeting and come early and stay late. Like this is not to get rich quick. This is get rich for sure. Okay, for sure, but not quick and not for dumb people. And I have been accused of saying a caveman can do it because I think of myself as a caveman. I think of myself as not that smart. I was talking to a 23-year-old yesterday. He said, "Mr. Albright, I take exception to you saying that. Not many people have 2 jets that are dumb. You may not be smart in one subject, but you're smart in something." So I would say that. Are you smart in something? And smart assness. Are you smart at something? You know, I met Stephen Davies, the guy that Stephen brought you in. Y'all good friends. He brought you in, right, Adam?
Yeah, that's correct.
22 years ago, I said, "Why should I consider you over other people?" And he said, "My church trained me. I'm not scared of anything." I was like, sold. And by the way, he made a decision not to go to university because he wanted to pay for his own house, his own car, wanted to get married and stuff like that. I was like, that's not a bad decision, bro. But he came on at 20. I would say he got another education here. So educated through the church, educated here. Oh, I'm gonna point this out. I pointed it out on the I don't like when I was building this business. Ask Stephen Davies. When I first got in this business, he didn't know I liked sports. He didn't know I cared about the Wolfpack. He didn't know where I went to school. Nothing. It bothers me, and I don't care what you do. It's your life. Like I said, I got my life. I'm growing, and I'm finding great people. But these people that are broke and go to their college alma mater, and they're broke, and they got nosebleed seats or average seats. I didn't have season tickets until I could get 50-yard line. To be clear, front row, 50-yard. I didn't have tickets. Didn't go to the games because I believe in A, activities, and A, entertainment. I'm not doing C, entertainment. I ain't doing C, making money activities. You with me?
Right.
So I love the Wolfpack, but I didn't go to the games, didn't watch them, didn't care about them. Nobody could tell me stores, didn't know the name. One time I thought I lost my mind. I was looking at a brochure and it was going through the coaches and the players. It was one of those timelines, and it was a timeline. I got cold chills now thinking about it. I got cold chills. I was like, I've never heard of those people. I don't know who they are. What happened to me? Did I have amnesia? And then I went, wait, the time frame coincides when I was building my business, becoming a multimillionaire. So I don't think it's a good idea if you're broke and you follow your team. I don't. Now, am I mad? No, I don't care. I'm not telling you what to do. I just like the story of my homeless guy trying to tell him what to do. He gave me a lot of grief over it. So I followed the Wolfpack. Now Dave Dorn, the head coach, was just calling me while I was talking to y'all, and I was on live. He called me. I hit him back with, I'm on a call. Can I call you back real quick? And then I sent him a picture of y'all with the Wolfpack. He said, I hit him with that. Can you call me back? Can you call me back? I'll call you back. I see you calling. And then he hit me back with that sure thing. So sure, call me back. He either wants to borrow the plane or a check or tell me how awesome I am. He rotates between those 3 things. He might hit me with the awesome thing more often because he's a pretty smart recruiter. So when we were partnering with Integrity, they called the name, the secret project was called codename Wolfpack. So this is not on y'all's call to stand for NC State, it's to stand for the Wolfpack. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack. I love that. The strength of the alliance is you three or us four. And the strength of us four is you, Adam, you, Kevin. So when you're recruiting, people ask me this all the time, so what do you lead with? I lead with me. Adam, I'd like for you to lead with you. So what's the best thing about the alliance? Why is this company different than others? You, Adam Burge. It's not the leads. It's not the art. It's not me. It's not Stephen Davies. It's you. Lead with that. You're the badassest dude I know on your team. Lead with that. Back it. Lead with emotion. Back it up with logic. Hit them with a why. Pop them with a parable. Does that make sense? I work with you on that. That's getting into some of Stephen Davies' training, the parables. Okay, so lead with you and then go with Davies, then go with me. Think about this, Adam. Nobody has you. Nobody has Davies. Nobody has me. You put us three together, brother. We'll rip some heads clean off the shoulders and poopy down the neck. Like that. And then think about that, Kevin. Kevin, Mike Leventovich, and Albright. You with me?
Powerful.
Rojas, Riddle, Big Mike, Albright. Dang. Okay, but don't you think you're talking about the money? Dude, I'd rather be in a terrible business with great people than be in a great business with a bunch of jerks. How'd you like to be in a great business with great people? So you lead with the great people, which has got to be a priority. It's like happy versus rich. Yes, happy's number one. Great people's the leader. Then it'd be cool if we had something like the ARC. It would be cool if we had these leads. By the way, my new recruiting technique. Hannah, Patrick, one of y'all text me the copy of the lead. The copy of the lead that we're showing. I'm sending people that final expense lead going, look at this. Look at this. Read that. Okay. Now, first I talk to them about their life and I go, I'm the key to your future. Right. And if I don't want to work with you, I ain't working with you. And then I go to that lead. Okay. I mean, to me, it's powerful. So, and people say, what about internet leads? Oh my God, they're awesome. Love them. You send them a picture of typing, and people see typed out words with names. But it's got their favorite bird or favorite torch or favorite football team. That's cool. But that writing where somebody hand scribbled, that's it right there. Ooh, hold on. Somebody take a snapshot, screenshot that. Keep it right there for a minute, Bo. God almighty. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
That's money, dude.
That's money. Take my wife, take my dog, take my cats, take my house, but don't take my lead machine. I can get my wife back with that money. I send a team of SEALs in there to get her back. We get a dog back. You take my leads, we got a problem. I used to have a guy. He was, well, still got him actually. He's a good friend. But he's just like, God, man, he'd always be scared, man. I know you're talking about referrals, AD, and referrals are important. Please, don't cut off the lead machine. I say, bro, we ain't never been running about leads. I mean, he'd just go into a panic. He still does. Matter of fact, I owe him a call. All right. So what I want, somehow Kevin just got moved, people, on my screen. I don't know if it moved on y'all's. Kevin,
I'm still here.
I see you. I see you, but I don't see you like I want to see you. I don't know if it's your fault or theirs. So, Adam, talk about in the beginning, leads, Davies pitching you on seeds as leads and leads as seeds. Tell him about the pitch he gave and about you buying in and how much you bought in and how quickly you bought in. Will you share that? Because there's a lot of people wanting to know how did he do it? I'm telling you guys, he has faith like a muscle, not faith like a mustard seed. His faith. All right, I'm shutting up.
Well, Stephen had a lot of freeness of speech, because I could see what he was doing, and I knew that I didn't need to innovate or renovate. All I needed to do was duplicate. And so that's what I did. I just, I looked at what Stephen was doing, and I just imitated his example. not just, you know, in life, which is a wonderful example in and of itself, but also how he ran his business, how he built his business. You know, his direct mail leads. And so I did the calculations. I figured out how much do I want to make, and then how much do I need to spend in leads in order to make that. And then, you know, buying the leads is one thing, but you also have to call the leads. You know, you have to have a work ethic. You've got to, you know, set aside dial time. And people know that when I'm doing my dials, I'm not available, you know, to other people other than my wife and my little dog. I'm doing my dials and, you know, and at that scheduled time and making my appointments, running my appointments. And so that was really key for me to have success early on.
Tell me how much money did Davies kind of give you a little spiff to get you started, and give you these little taste of the crack, you know, a little taste of it, and at all, and then how much, and then how quickly did you buy in where you started putting Adam money into it, and how much money did you put into it?
Well, I put in money immediately. I was $750 a week right out of the gate. The moment I had my license, I attended family reunion right after that. But right after family reunion, I was doing my dials. I was doing door knocks. I was chasing leads down. I was doing that immediately after family reunion in 2021. You know,
$750 a week. You started.
Yeah. Then I went up to like 1,300, and I kind of, because I was seeing how far I could push it, and I found about $1,000 a week was my sweet spot. So I'm doing easily $1,000 a week consistently.
So you went up to 1,300, seeing if you could really gyrate the amount of revenue, and you would you come out netting more. You weren't trying to save money by doing 1,300. You wouldn't try to waste money. You were trying to figure out that sweet spot on how much you're willing to work is key too.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
If you get, that's why we say, are you scared of money? Or are you scared of work? Because some people simply do not want to work. So 750 leads is way more than they're willing to work. In other words, they make 750, spend 750 and make 1,000. That is not a good program, because you're not working the leads properly. True that?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be calling your leads. You can't let them sit around and age, because somebody else, you know, might come in behind you, you know, and I don't want to let that happen. Those are my leads. I paid for them. I want them. I want that business. And so I just had to chase them down. Every week I had to be dedicated to doing my dials, running my appointments. And that's what Stephen taught me. You know, Stephen taught me that from the very beginning. You got to work your appointments.
Like, let that sink in, people that are listening. People, like, did you have 750? Did you have thousands of dollars laying around, Adam? Because if you did, that's great. Recruit people that have thousands of dollars laying around. Did you use credit cards? Did you borrow the money? Did you scratch out, sell some friends to family? How did you get that initial money?
Yeah, I had to find the money. You know, I had to look for it. I was, like I said before that, I was a minister, and I wasn't getting paid as a minister. I was doing that full time on my own dime. No one was paying me. I didn't make any income in those years I was serving as a minister. There were years I didn't have to pay taxes because I was making so little. So it wasn't like I came into this with, you know, a fortune that, you know, behind me to fund my business. I had to start from scratch. And so that's what I did. I just, you know, I had to just invest in myself and make the sacrifice. But I also knew that if I just duplicated the efforts of others, if I just imitated their good example, like Stephen, that it would pay out. There might be a learning curve, but I can do it. I'm not stupid. I may not be a genius, but I'm not stupid. I can figure this out if I'm just persistent at it. If I want to be a persistent professional. And so I invested in myself and just started working. And I figured it out pretty quickly because I had good help. I had good mentorship from Stephen, and I had the support of my sweet wife. You know, did you know every product before you started going to the house, or did you get on the phone with Davies while you were in the house? I'll tell you, what I learned from family reunion that really stood out to me was something Belle Krause said on the platform when she was speaking at that event. She gave her own personal example, how she was just, you know, putting ink to paper, and she was writing as fast as she could, and she didn't know what she was doing per se, but she figured it out as she went along. She made a lot of mistakes, but she also learned from those mistakes. She learned that a lot of mistakes could be corrected, but she just, you know, she just threw herself into it. And that really was a big relief to me, because my fear was that I had to know everything about term and whole life and universal life and long-term care and HMAs, and that I had to know the ins and outs of all these products in order to master selling life insurance. And when I realized that I didn't have to do that, then I just said, okay, then let's just do it. I'm gonna find the money for it, and I did. And I just bought the leads and I started working in them. And yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. There were times probably some of these insurance companies were wondering if I was going to make it. If I was smart enough to figure this out, because I was calling them all the time trying to fix the errors that I made and the like. But see, the clients didn't know that. They didn't care. The clients had no idea if I made a mistake or not. I was able to fix it. And very quickly, I stopped making so many mistakes. Very, very quickly, I was not making any mistakes. And I feel now that I've become somebody that people call and ask to figure things out about life insurance. And I never would have thought I'd be in that position. A year ago, when I started doing this, I never would have thought. I was just trying to keep track what term life insurance was and whole life insurance was. And universal life wasn't even on the radar.
So have you picked it up now that you're moving index universal life and annuities?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like last year, I sold 1.3 million in annuities. And that was just following the method that Stephen taught me, in the home. And because I was new at it, he knew he had to dumb it down for me, keep it simple so I could figure it out. And I did. I imitated what Stephen taught me.
So in your first full year with us,
Mm-hmm.
you did 1.3 million in annuities.
Correct.
Moving money. So that's an extra 65,000, more than that. Yeah, extra 65,000. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Income.
Yeah, because I knew when I was in the home that there was more money sitting there that I was leaving on the table besides life insurance, and that really irritated me. I don't want to go into a home. I want to make all the money I can in the home while I'm there in the home. I don't want to leave any money on the table, because that's just a waste of my effort, and I'm not serving that client to the fullest ability, the fullest capacity. And so I just had to learn, okay, how do I find that safe money? So then I moved on after I figured out term and whole life. I figured out how to find safe money and sell annuities. And then very quickly I read the book, Save Smarter, Not Harder, and I learned how people can use IULs for retirement planning. And it's gotten to the point now where that actually is a big part of my business. I just closed a $760 a month premium just a couple weeks ago for a gentleman who wants to save for retirement. I would have never thought. Yeah, $760 a month. I would have thought a year ago that I would ever get. I remember I made my first $300 a month premium, and I thought I had arrived. Yeah.
Telling you, they're out there, Rojas. They out there. They walk among us.
Yes, sir.
They walk among us. Gotta shake our hand. Same with you, Kevin Lewis. First full year, making that kind of money. How was your faith with Leventovich selling you on leads and selling you to invest and selling you to start before you knew everything? Relate us your experience. Hopefully somebody will copy this.
So mine is a little bit different. Once I was in, once Mike took me down to a hot spot, and I heard somebody else talk about how much money Mike made, I was in. I think it was Robbie who announced them. I rode down to Tennessee. I've been talking to Mike for about a week, and we went to a hot spot, and then Robbie was there. And Robbie said, "Hey, we're going to welcome to the stage the guy who's made $1 million a year the past 15 years in a row." And I was like, "What? I'm in. You know, whatever else you want me to do, I'm there." And so having the discussion with Mike, we started off, and he gave me probably a stack of 100 age leads. And he just told me to go down to the basement and dial them. But then he explained to me, "Hey, we'll bump you up in commission rate if you buy your own leads." And that combined with the fact that I wanted to own my own success and failure. I wanted to be in charge of whether I was doing this thing right or not. So I said, "Hey, man, I want to jump in with both feet. I want to buy my own leads." And so my first stack of leads that Mike gave me were age leads, and then I started GMR immediately. And so I jumped straight into the GMR October last year, October 21. I'm kind of the same as Adam. I went to family reunion 2021, and that set me off. I was on fire after that.
How much did you start buying per week, Kevin?
$250. And it was largely because I didn't know what was supposed to be generated, but I also had one market IULs I was doing mostly, and I was trying to figure out, it was less about income and more, or less about the cost of the lead and more about the time I had to service the leads.
Yes.
And, I made the decision that, hey, 250 is about the sweet spot at first. And then I increased it to 5 last November, I think. I increased it to 5. So right now I'm at about 500 a week. And I still don't know if that's right, but
I was going to say, let me encourage you with the money you got. Let me encourage you to bump it up to $1,000 and see how it goes. Okay. You could do 750, you do anything you want, it's your life. But just from a coaching standpoint, try it. Now, here's what you got to do. You got to get better at delegating, because like Megan's bringing in, $1,500 a week. I mean, she's spending $1,500 a week, but her delegation skills are really, really honed. You with me?
Yes, sir.
You and me both are a control freak. So there's things that you need to quit controlling, and there's things you need to control more. But there are things you need to control less. Okay? Like if you spend,
I hired a secretary finally, so.
Finally, whew. Give somebody 50,000 and make an extra 80,000. Like, how often would you hire somebody for 50 grand if you knew every time you was going to make another 80,000? That's the business mindset that people need to go to. Not, I'm saving 50,000, I can do it. Because if you're doing a $50,000 a year job for somebody, you're pulling down your average income. And if all you do is their job, you're going to make 50. Mm-hmm. And God help if you're doing somebody that makes 25,000 a year. You with me? So you're at 500. And just listen. And hey, listen. I promise you, if you don't want to work no more than you're working, I get it. But I'm saying work the same amount, but smarter. Okay, I just went through this exercise with my staff. We're spending this amount of money on recruiting per recruiting lead. I asked them to make it twice as quality so that my recruiters talk to more quality people, because we've got the money to do that. You see what I'm saying, Rojas? I'm thinking all the time, what's the consequences? Is the consequences we make more money? The consequences we start losing money. So if you're spending 50, if you had a secretary, if you didn't have a secretary and you were making 200,000, you hire a secretary and you don't start making 250. Either they're not helping, you worked less. You with me? Like if you want to work less, that's fine to hire somebody. You see what I'm saying? In other words, let's say you're working your butt off and you make 200,000, you hire a secretary and you're still making 200. There's nothing wrong with that if you're working less. Unless you're like, no, I want to make more money. Well, then you need to put in the same amount of money, the same amount of work you were doing when you were making 200 without him as a secretary. Now that you've got a secretary, you put the same amount. You don't need to make 250. You need to make 280. If you make 260 and you pay somebody 50, that's cool. But making 280 off a person is even better. Or making 80 when you pay them 50. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm talking to you guys. You're getting the brunt of it, but I want everybody to hear this. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like if you gave me 500 and I give you 5,000, how often do you want to give me 500 for that 5,000?
Let's keep it going.
I'll do that all day long.
You're doing it all day long? That's what you're doing with, did you say you're at $1,000 a week now?
Right. Yeah, if somebody told me, hey, you give me 1,000, I'll give you 10 grand back. I'm in. You got it. Here you go.
It's just how much work have I got to do? That's the question. How much work do I have to do in a week? And if I go like, 50 hours, 50 hours, I'll do it. And if I said 100, I don't want to work 100. I go, okay, then don't give me $1,000. Only give me 800. I don't know, but I don't think you're putting in 100 hours a week, putting in $1,000 worth of leads, are you, Adam?
No, I'm not. I'm probably working 35, 40 hours a week, maybe less.
Hold on a second. I am going to mess this dude up. Are you watching this unbelievable training I'm doing right now?
I'm going to go back and watch it, but wait.
Nope, I'm busy. Don't
Crazy
come back. Bye. Bam. If he's going to watch it later, why would he be interrupting me? That is not smart. I love this dude. You with me? I love this dude. Like, I really do. How do you leave an audio? I figure out how to do the audio. Oh, here we go. Hey, dude. Hey, dude. Hey, man. Hey, man, listen. I'm doing this show. If you know I'm doing this show, I love you. If you know I'm doing it, why would you call me? If you don't know I'm doing it, I do this call every Wednesday, or I get one of my high-paid people to do it. And I need for you on it when I'm doing it live. With my schedule, you've seen my morning was insane. I'm recording this for him. My morning was insane with conference calls, doing what my wife needed me to do, doing live on Facebook, and then I schedule it. Please, God, tell me you can schedule it. And I get you. Kevin had an appointment and it ran over. He had plenty of time to do it, but some shocking stuff happened, and he's a little bit late. I can live with that. If you don't miss the whole thing, I can live with that. But if you tell me you scheduled an appointment right on top of my schedule, I'm like, bro, I love you, but please don't do that. Watch it live. It's way different watching live. You can text your upline, you can text me. You're going to learn so much more, and it's scheduled, it's regulated. Well, I got a job, I can't do it. Okay, if you got a job, you can't do it. I get it, but you shouldn't be calling me from your job. You see what I'm saying? Give that person, if you're going to give that company 100%, give that company 100%. But get on this call. Hopefully you can jump on it later. Later is later. Everybody makes the same amount of money than me. They're just not as urgent as I am, meaning they do it later. They do it next. Mañana, tomorrow. I should post this. Somebody just sent me that. Me and this guy working on this project, he sent me that little girl singing, tomorrow, tomorrow. And I was cracking up. I was like, dude, no, it's today. So anyway, we love you. I know you'll watch it later, but dadgum. That's it. You know, right? Ain't that crazy? I just love this business. It's just it's a young guy full of, energy and excitement. And bam! Okay. Rojas, way different story. Been with us 6 years. You're only 23 years old. We're not highly educated. Was not highly trained. I think you were doing telemarketing.
Yeah, I was working on a 9-to-5 job selling Medicare supplements for Aetna, and I was urgently looking for something else. I had filled up my schedule.
Hey, wouldn't you also do an Uber or something like that while you were at your jobs?
Yep, Uber and Lyft till 2-3 o'clock in the morning just to do it all over again. And on Sundays, Uber and Lyft sucked. So what I did is I picked up a warehouse job on Sundays, and I would work every single Sunday till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, midnight.
You was not scared to work.
No, I just wanted a shot. But while I found my shot, I was going to prove that I was a worker.
So did you have to be handed a few leads in the beginning? Did you start buying your leads? How did your story go 6 years ago?
I was below broke. My grandmother had just passed away, and she didn't have life insurance. And we had to get all of our savings from our wedding to that funeral so that my grandmother was in a funeral home in a box basically for 3.5 months. So I was broke. I thank God for Big Mike for helping me out with some leads. and just going out there, man. I never like the leads were old, but I was so grateful that he would help me, that he would throw me a bone. You know what I'm saying? And I try to never complain. I didn't care how, the older the lead, the better. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody has touched them. I remember one time it was I was dialing 4 and 5 year old leads, and I'm like, yo, ain't nobody touched these, baby. Let's run them. You know, and it's like I remember going through my first 22 appointments without making any sales, and I was crying. I was like, let me listen to Stephen Furtick and get my mind right, bro. My 23rd appointment, I made more on that 23rd appointment than 2 weeks in my normal 9-to-5 job. I'm like, all right, I am sold. I can do this. and that's where I was, man, in the beginning. Shit, never gets old, man. I got chills.
Your grandma was in a box for 3 months.
3.5 months. We couldn't pay the funeral home. We did the whole GoFundMe. We asked for the church. I apologized for the church for not coming through for a couple times, you know, and it still wasn't enough to bury my grandmother.
Somebody else told that story from the stage this weekend. They kept the grandma. Was it Marcus Richards? Yeah. Marcus told that story about how they said, can we do a payment plan? I said, we don't do payment plans. We're not a bank, we're a funeral home.
Yeah, that was wild. And I knew that this was something. See, I sold knives before, and I wasn't good at it. I sold credit cards before. I kind of liked it because I could talk a lot of smack. But this is something that was near and dear in my heart. Hell, I would say my story, and I would start crying, and the clients home, they'd be, calm down, baby, you all right? I'd make myself cry. The point is to get them emotional.
Do you still do that? Do you still do that? Do you still do that?
I don't cry anymore. I make them, you know what I'm saying? I get them emotional. I've worked on my story because Marcus said, facts tell, stories sell.
Well, if you ever go into a slump, I highly recommend you go back to crying.
Okay.
Matter of fact, if you need something special you're trying to buy for Crystalline, you need some extra money.
Yeah.
Cry.
Gotcha. But bro, I decided, man, you have to decide. Once you found out that you need to get rid of confusion and simplify your life, is the moment you're going to have exponential growth. You just have to decide. You have to decide, baby. Got him. He's leaning.
I covered up his name. But how about that? See, here's the thing. Adam, recruiting. Kevin, recruiting. Kevin, that ain't the way you started recruiting. You didn't recruit like that, did you?
No.
Disappointed in my team. Who built it? Disappointed in the performance. Who coached them? They're just not smart. Who recruited them?
Wow. That's huge.
Kevin give his own shaking, stuff like that. That's a good pork chop, though, wasn't it, Kevin?
Amazing pork chop. Amazing.
This place, what's the name of that place? It's pork chop place.
Harry's. No. Yeah. Houston. No, Harry's.
Harry's
In Birmingham.
pork chops. The waiter tried to talk us out of that pork chop. I got that pork chop anyway. Pork chop was unbelievable. Then we went to one, where is that, in Birmingham, Alabama?
Yeah, the pork chop place was in Birmingham.
Well, I was out in Houston. Harry's. I said, yeah, we went to Harry's. Got lit right in on me. Don't buy that pork chop. I said, I'm getting pork chop. I don't know what's wrong with you people. I got that pork chop. Me and Patrick split it. I couldn't even eat all mine. He ate all his and some of mine. So all right, what's that pork chop? That's what I remember. I remember the pork chop and giving you down in the country. Hey, did I tell y'all that story? Wolfpack game, we used a football game, and one player's laying down, the other player clearly hit him in the down in the country, and just hit him, and the guy's like, and the referee threw a flag, And the referee, you know how sometimes you can hear him real clear? He's like, 15 yards, number 7, for giving him down in the country. He didn't say personal foul. He was giving him down in the country. I remember giving you down in the country in that pork chop. That's what I remember. Hit him with a parable, pop him with a Y, boys. Boys. So I'm just you're getting to hear this ahead of time, Adam. He went through that. That was a sharp lady you had there, and I heard she's already selling. I'm going to see her next week in Jacksonville. Next week I'm in Treasure Island right here. We're doing a meeting. Rojas got 10 or 15 people coming. He's going to be there training. What time is that? Do you know what time that training is, Rojas and Treasure Island?
I believe, no, I don't have it at hand, man. Let me see. No, I don't have it at hand. I want to say it's from 3 to 6.
I had it right here. Here we go. Orlando.
I'm going all 3 of them. I know for sure Fort Lauderdale's 3 to 6.
Right,
And that's on the 25th.
It's 9 a.m. to noon.
9 to noon. 9 to noon. And it's going to be at the Fusion Resort. Y'all been to before, that round conference room. A lot of millions have been made there. So that's next Tuesday. Yeah. Next Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I'm heading to Fort Lauderdale, and we're doing that morning meeting. Afternoon meeting. Meeting.
From 3 to 6.
3 to 6 in Fort Lauderdale. And then the Jets heading up to Jacksonville, where I'm going to meet Katarina. Is that her name?
Katarina DeSanto. She's is on fire. She's on fire. She had 2 appointments yesterday recruiting. She had one on Monday. She sold her first policy on Monday right after NatCon. Yeah. You
get what I'm teaching you that Kevin went through. He didn't hear Leventovich say it, or he didn't believe it, or he had to, do it for himself to figure it out. Either way, you don't have to go through that. I had a conversation with another guy this morning. That's 2 or 3 things I was telling him. I'm gonna hit y'all with this. Okay, so I'm telling you, Adam, hear what he went through. And how would you say you are, Rojas?
Pardon?
How old are you?
Right now, I'm 33.
Okay. So from here forward, think about what I'm saying about that quality of person really matters. You coached them, you picked them out, so guy was talking about the attitude of his team. And I was like, bro, a lot of times the fish start smelling at the head. Okay. So we got to take responsibility. We recruited them, we train them, we create the attitude, but it's communication. Communication's a 2-way street. Here's what I would say to Lewis, here's what I say to Leventovich. You didn't tell him. You go, I told him 10 different times. He just didn't listen. I go, well, then find a more creative way of telling people if they're not listening. You with me? In other words, it's my job not just to communicate. It's my job to communicate. Does that make sense? So think about how my parables and how emphatic I am and how lunatic I am and how these stories I tell, I'm trying to get my point across. I'm trying to communicate. Because the number 1 problem in your company, in your home, and especially in churches is communication, Adam. Your number 2 problem is communication. Number 3 is communication. The only thing I would take exception to is when you got a serious health situation. Health, like you're about to die. I guess you can communicate with God, but still, getting that health right is a big deal. If you're healthy, your physical health is there, it's 99% of the problem is communication. That 3rd big problem is communication. So I feel like I was clear with my boy about the call, right? And I did it right now. And I ain't gonna do it. So it's your team, right?
Yes, sir.
It's funny, a kid that's getting started with me that, by the way, Patrick, make sure Cleveland gets the audio and jumps on this call if he's available right now. But this kid I'm bringing in the business, and I said, son, do you understand people get mad at the coach for the play he called? He said, yeah. Do they understand the players got to execute the play that he called? Because people do that all the time. Why did Dave Darn run a running play and he lost 3 yards? He knows that won't work. The play was designed to work, ding dong head. I can't help that the guard forgot the play. That's not Dave Dorn's fault, but Dave's responsible for the coach players. Okay, well, let's talk about he's responsible for the players, not the play calling. because the play was a good play. It just didn't work because they didn't execute. Or maybe a beast on the other team interrupted it. A good plan will work till a swift punch in the face. Or, you with me? That's what every military, that's one of the things they teach in military school is the plan is good until the opposition hits. Then what do? How do we pivot? How do we negotiate? How do we account for getting punched in the face? It's like deer hunting. It's all good until that deer shoots back. That's when all hell breaks loose. As deer shoots back. Woo! The other thing was this. Nah, I'm just going with attitude and communication. Just go with those two. Because I was just like, bro, here's another thing. If you look around America and people are making money and they go like, there's just somebody going, everybody's struggling these days. I'm looking around. Oh, I know who it was too. It ain't one of our, well, actually, she's been in class. She ain't got through class. Okay? Hear what I said? And she was telling me how bad things are and everybody's having it rough. And I'm looking around going like, we're on Treasure Island. Meaning we ain't at the brokest place in the world. There's houses cost millions of dollars around here, right? And I'm in one of them. Like some people ain't struggling. If some people ain't struggling, why are you struggling? Well, they got upset about you changed where the bathroom was. Normally you go outside. What? The one thing is things going to change. If you don't tell your people things are going to change, when they change, they're going to be shocked.
Right.
Things are going to change. We had that carrier. We ain't giving points for Foresters. I hate it as much as you do. You don't get credit for selling Foresters. I don't like it. I'm still negotiating. I'm still begging, threatening. But what am I going to do? Okay? Well, you say you could have just lost money. Oh, we got to get that attitude. We got to get that out. Max watching Max.
So you said something in this CD right here. You put it in a link already. Guys, here's what Andy Albright said. Don't get in a victim's mentality. You can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Attitude changes situation. Show me your faith without talk, and I'll show you my faith through my walk. Faith in action, baby.
Just got that. Dude, we already have a link, you say?
Yeah, we got that link. I've been passing it around like hotcakes to my team. I hope they listen to it.
Send it to me.
Okay.
Right now, if you can. I know you're on your phone.
Right.
And then also post it on WhatsApp, on the agency manager WhatsApp, so they can pass it out to people. Ain't nothing on there that's going to send me to jail or nothing, is it?
Well, I'm just clarifying. If I do it, I'm going to, it's going to shoot me out. Are you okay with that, or?
It's going to take you out for a second.
All right, cool. I'll do it right now.
Ain't nothing like now, Adam, in my book. I got 5 or 6 of these Rolexes. On the big hand, it says right now. On the little hand, it says now. So when they say, what time we going to do it? I say, right now.
Right now.
Or I can do it now. God. So, let's talk about how cool Stephen Davey is, Adam.
Stephen is he's a very kind and very gracious, very generous man. Yeah, he and Holly both. I mean, I didn't have a lot of options, a year and a half ago. I'll tell you, about a year ago, there were still days I couldn't even get out of bed. I was so sick. But Stephen, and I needed some encouragement, someone to kind of lift my spirits. And when it came to my work, and I didn't call Stephen all the time because I know he's a busy person and and has a lot of people he needs to care for. But I would call him, and he would take time. He'd say something positive and encouraging, and it'd help me out and keep my mind right, keep my mind focused. And yeah, I couldn't have been. He was a blessing, really. Stephen and Holly both are a blessing to Cindy and I.
Let me tell you something. I hired him when he was 20 years old, bro. He had to drive to see me, I don't know, from Asheville to where I live, 2 hours minimum, maybe 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. I asked him to drive that night, by the way. Well, listen to me. When I was recruiting him, I told him to drive that night 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. You understand urgency now and right now. He said he can't. He said, sir, I'm really struggling with money. I really need to do my appointments tonight and try to make some money. I can come in the morning. Will that suffice? I was like, okay, but get here early. Get your butt out of bed and he did. And we handed him leads, talked to him a little bit, gave him a printed out, like it was terrible, handwritten, photocopied script for him to use, gave him a bunch of leads and a cassette recording, and gave that to him. He listened on the way back. He called us back, wanted to know if we were sure this was legal, the leads, and we were like, we think so. We just joined this company. It's pretty exciting. We think it's good. We think you're fine. And we've been just tight friends since. Watched his kids grow up and traveled all around the world with him. Went down to Danube and there's another big river in Europe. We went down together through all kinds of countries. Danube and what else is
Thames?
It might be right. Adam will be texting me in a minute. Thames? I don't know if it was Thames. Thank you, Rojas. Thanks for posting that. Attitude. So next thing, people real impressed with you, Adam. They're going like, dang, that guy's sharp, and Kevin, and you find people like that. What would you recommend brand new people to learn products, to learn how to do leads? Would you I always send them the Alliance University. I love that. Mm-hmm. And there's resources there. My podcast. The Rhine. We went down to Danube and the Rhine River. Isn't that crazy? I mean, like through 5-6 countries, and I still remember one of my partners going down the river trying to talk to Davies about his religion, and I was like, I'm getting ready to punch the guy that's doing it. I said, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I found the worst person in the world, best person in the world. You trying to change who he is. The biggest thing you can tell Rojas is find people that you don't need to change anything about them, mm-hmm. but they need to learn how to sell. Duh, I'm not changing that. Mm-hmm. They need to learn how to recruit. I'm not changing that. I don't want to change. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I told Megan Wood. Don't change nothing. What about this? Nope. I want you to learn how to sell, learn how to recruit. Because you are perfect how you are. People love that. Wow. Mm-hmm. They love that. I'm thinking a couple years down the line. Don't need to change it. Change nothing. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Just learn how to sell, learn how to recruit. Mm-hmm. What if they're up and they're down? Don't let change. Let them be up and down. Mm-hmm. Wow. As long as they're selling and recruiting. If you're depressed and selling, I don't care. If you're drunk and selling, I don't care. As long as you're selling. You with me? Quality selling, quality recruit. Mm-hmm. Divorced and selling, that's fine. You don't need to get married. Married and selling, that's fine. Got 2 kids, that's fine. What if they want to have another baby? I don't care. What if they don't want to have kids? I don't care. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, people, you think people don't want you to tell them how to run their business? Try to tell them how to run their life. Mm-hmm. 100 times worse. Oh my God. And I'm gonna get time for that.
Those are gems right there.
Where would they go? Speaking of gems, I got something good for you. What would you tell them? Give us some coaching on how we can get coached up. What we need to do. What's new people need to do first, next?
Yeah, I think the NAA University is key. Learning your business, learning how to do the in-home presentation, how to do dials, how to set appointments, how to handle objections. I think it's also important too to put forth hard work, but don't give up when things don't go exactly the way you want them to, because you're going to have occasions like that where you feel like like Brian was talking about, 20 some appointments before he sold his first one. You're going to have periods like that, but you gotta be persistent, a persistent professional. You got to be persistent. Don't give up. I remembered often last year, Andy, something that I heard you say one time, and you may not even have realized what an impact it had on me personally. Just like Belle's comments had an effect on me. She probably doesn't know that either. But you made the point that we have 100% success with those who don't give up. And I believed you because you had the moral equity to say that, and I knew it was true because I'm looking around the room and I'm realizing, okay, then apparently Andy's right because these folks all here agree and they're a testimony to that. So I just persisted, and I think the only regret I have over last year, something I learned from in hindsight, was I spent a lot of time learning about insurance, which was good. Nothing wrong to really know your business well, but I needed at some point though last year to focus more on learning how to share this opportunity with other people, because it wasn't enough of a focus of mine last year. Not just recruiting, but recruiting the right people.
Oh,
and so this year,
the right people.
Right. And so this year I made a change with that. I've already recruited 4 really good people this calendar year. And I just, have been trying to make that more of a focus, learning from that, last year. It's good to know your business because then you can teach it to others. But at some point, you've got to also, transition if you want to grow and expand and, make the most of your potential. You have to start doing some recruiting and focusing on that. That was my
I said anybody can do this. I think some people wanted to see how low they could go.
Mm-hmm.
Hire some of the worst possible just to prove that anybody could do it. Where I'm trying to get somebody that's easy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that, I don't have to train so much.
Mm-hmm.
Rojas, you've been around 6 years. Give us some stuff, man. Yeah, I knew funny is everything. Give us some stuff on new people, how quickly to get educated, that kind of thing. Just walk them through. I love the attitude. How many times do you listen to that? And, stuff like that. All right, bro?
So, yes, sir. So, guys, look, I was thinking about what I was going to tell you guys. Here's what I want to tell you. The enemy's biggest tool is discouragement. You understand me? Now, we are in a position that, like, if you put your faith in action, guys. You think it's going to take a long time to get out of whatever hole, whatever dip you're in. I'm here to tell you, give yourself 2 weeks of consistent work, consistent activity, massive action, and then let's talk. I promise you, if you put your faith in action, faith is seeing things that are not here now in the future, guys. All right? Put your faith in the future and put your faith in whatever you believe in. That doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, with that faith and massive action, miracles are getting ready to happen for you. This is what I believe. This is what my wife and I have believed. And then just check your attitude, check your ego, check your arrogance. Please, for the love of God, reach out for help. You don't know what you don't know. And then decide that you're going to win. There are winners, there are losers, and then there are people that haven't decided or don't know how to win. Lean in. Get on the calls. Get uncomfortable. Learn the pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, y'all. But decide. That's the first thing. Activity will heal the lack of learning how to speak. Activity will heal the lack of thinking you're not good enough. It'll change your identity. Activity will change your identity. Activity will give you confidence. Everything is in activity. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. I'm done. We're getting ready to travel, man. I'm so excited to see you, Andy. The 24th, 25th, 26th, it's going to be huge for me. It's going to be huge for my business. I'm traveling with Austin. We got 10 people in Fort Lauderdale confirmed. We're excited, bro.
How important is it to go to events for you, in your opinion, Rojas?
You are the average of the 5 people you hang around with most. It's only everything for me. It's only everything.
The next big one we got coming up is April 21, 22, and 23.
We bought 4 tickets for it right now so far.
You, Crystalline, and you bought 2 extra?
My assistant, and in case I need to give it to a new agent or something like that.
I would get Crystalline one.
Okay.
And I would get one more that she gets somebody. I'd go ahead and buy it before Friday.
Okay.
And get an extra one, and get your assistant get the extra one. So you get 3 extra, but not 10. I know a couple of people in Davies group bought 10, and that's fine. But I would get 1 extra for everybody. In your case, I want now, if any agents you have that were there, your brother or anybody else, I would get them to get 1 for themselves and 1 more.
Every single agent that was there got 1, for sure.
And 1 extra.
Okay, 1 extra. Gotcha. Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
sir.
everybody was there should get 2 tickets.
Gotcha.
And if their wife wasn't there, they get a wife one and get another ticket for somebody else. You with me?
Makes sense. Yes,
Does that
sir.
make sense? So if your husband and wife team get 2 extra, 1 for the wife, 1 for you. Why are we going extra? Because we're going to double. Minimum double. Minimum double. The place is going to sell out. Okay.
Yeah.
I can tell you the place only holds 1,500. Just heads up.
Yeah.
And we had over 1,000 people at this event, so it's going to sell out. I don't know when it's going to sell out. And by the way, the tickets are $600, right? $599. Is that what he said?
Correct.
They're $599. Period. But what can you get them for Friday before Friday?
We got them at $299. I don't know what they're going for now.
I think
no.
It's still $299.
What?
But the tickets? Yeah.
My God.
Didn't they extend it? Am I saying something wrong to you?
The ticket was actually $2,000. Then you guys gave us a discount for $600. But if you bought them at the moment, it was $299. Everybody
$2,000. I think that's right. I think I was thinking $600. So the first discount is down to $600. They're $2,000. So let's say after Friday they go up to $399. They're still $2,000 tickets discounted to $299.
Correct. They are $299 until midnight on Friday.
But what's the original price? $2,000?
$2,000 is what he typically sells it for. $599 is what he is offering it to us for, and then $299 was the event only, which we extended until Friday.
Thank you. That sounds like the VOG, voice of God, right there. That's pretty cool. Good job, kid.
It's in those events. May I say something, Albright?
Yeah.
So it's in those events when I got around Andy Riddle and he taught me about the 4 basics, and I'm trying to even become an even bigger master at that. Okay, how to get the checks, how to get 15 referrals, how to get an annuity, how to sell across the table when you're sitting down with your client. The next event is I honed in on getting ERSs, and I went to the top dog and he showed me how to do ERSs. Now I became a master of them. Now I'm teaching them on a nationwide level, on a national level. But I've become a student of a 4 bases. And how did I do that? I went to the people. I went to the guys doing it, man. I got uncomfortable. I had no money. I packed a dozen eggs. I packed some butter, and I packed a pan because I had no money to eat. But I went in faith, knowing that was going to do something for me. And look at us. It's crazy where we're at right now. And it's only going to bet, bro, we're trying to 10X this year. What was that right there? Can't see it. It's blurry, bud.
I'm working on it. I had the other one. You can see the other one. I don't know why. It says, I got 2 people with license trying to get in. I hope they're trying to get in this call. I'm afraid that somebody else is not watching. So I sent them a link to the call.
Love it.
Listen, if we're not communicating to our team, our players, our downline, our agents to get on the call, either they're not hearing it or we ain't communicating. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I always think I'm doing a terrible job of communicating. Okay? But hopefully he tells me who it is. I don't care who it is. Jump on. You with me? All right. You said so. Oh, I got a great idea.
Talk to me.
All right. Remember this? We came out with this book.
Yes.
And we offered people to be authors of it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. These are the people that authored it. So now they publish. I'm a published author. Is that cool? People say, are you going to do this again? I get to be the author. No, it's gone. It's gone. Can't do it. So we got, you can't be, I guess we rewrite it. We could, but Yeah, thousands of these, and everybody bought, like, I think he bought a minimum of 500 to become an author. All right, well, how about this? I have another book that I've not published, already written. It's called N247 Are You?
Wow.
Okay, N247 Are You attitude. Okay, so here's what I'm looking for: success stories of how this attitude has turned your marriage around, your health around, your income around, your relationship with your daddy around. Success stories, short success stories. You with me?
I love it.
I sure would like to have 45 success stories and 45 co-authors to this book.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
That's wild.
It does. How many words?
That's a good question. I'm thinking a page. So Mac's listening to this. So Mac, do a page for me and see how many. Tell them how many words. You get to pull out this book, the safe book, and you count them. But that's about what we're looking for. I'm thinking per page. And so we got co-authors with success stories talking about the lifestyle of 24/7. Because people always think I work 24/7. All right, you're a moron if you think I work 24/7. Dude, I watched that daggum episode of Criminal Minds last night. Messed me up. That is not work. That is not work, Bo. I mean, it was good, Bo. I mean, I like that kid on there with like 18 degrees in science and biology and math and life. I like that kid. We hired a kid looked just like him in Denver. He quit. I was like, you weren't the real deal. He looked just like him. 24/7 success stories. Matt is going to tell you how much. How many words. We'll add it to it. And we'll come up with that book that this is how you change your life. Oh, I'm taking Jane to South Africa for 12 days next month. We got Spencer. We got a party at the cabin this weekend. You with me? I don't work all the time, but I'm in 24/7, meaning I'm a. Oh, all right. So Matt, heads up. So we got a new project. This book. I didn't publish it because I didn't feel good. And then when you started talking, Rojas, I said, you know what? And I pulled out this book because I was going to sell y'all on this book about, how good it is, that attitude, right? So we, by the way, I'm telling Matt, transcribe the attitude talk. There's going to be some good stuff in there. And I'm also telling Mac, I got a teaching thing I'm going to give you right now. So if I forget where I am and I come back and say, what is it? I said, you had a teaching thing. And it's on delegation, okay? And I want Mac to take this part of the teaching, this delegation teaching, and transcribe it. That's the way I like to write my books, Adam. It's like Mac, this I want to be in a book. So capture it. Capture my words. All right. I was talking about delegation and staffing. Okay, so think about this. You remember my talk at the convention. If it's going to put you in jail or if it's going to get you killed, I highly recommend you move away from that. That's consequences. If it's going to make you $100 million, it's going to make you $1 million a month, it's going to change your life, that's consequences. Extreme consequences, I highly recommend you do. Okay, so think about the width from death, prison, billions or millions. There's a lot of stuff in between here that somebody else can do. If it's going to make you hundreds of thousands, I call that A, consequences. If it's going to get you hurt, break your arm, I call that A, consequences. So you keep coming down to stuff that just don't matter whatsoever is in the center. Why would you not 100% delegate to anybody this? Because it don't matter. You're not getting rich. You're not going broke. You're not going to lose everything you got. So anybody can do this. You see this diagram? Anybody can do this dead center. Mm-hmm. A good employee. I was talking about Clay Mertes, okay, President's Club. His bandwidth, I will delegate this much stuff to him. I got a brand new person, Nick, who's really good recruiter. I'm going to delegate this to him. If it's going to make me millions and millions, I'll do it. If it's going to make me go broke, I'll do it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, it does.
So this is a good talk if you can think about it. Your delegation, you want to delegate everything in between those two. Okay?
Yeah.
But it's hard to find somebody that if you're going to make hundreds of millions, if you could delegate that to somebody that makes you hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands or fives of thousands, they got to be a quality person.
That's
So
really
you
good.
pay people according to their bandwidth. Like if I know that'll put the company, in jeopardy, and I delegate it to Kraft, that means he's a high-level employee. In other words, Robbie's bandwidth is like this, okay? Clay's other employees, their bandwidth is like this. Is this good? This would be good for a preacher.
I'm excited to hear
Right?
this talk. Yeah.
Right? It's if this guy's going to give millions to your church, this guy's going to destroy the church. I'm talking to this guy. I'm talking to this guy. Does that make sense? I'm doing the extreme consequences. I'm trying to do less and less of opening mail. Opening mail. Come on, guys. Opening mail. Who can't do that? Who can't get you a cup of coffee? Put the right amount of cream and sugar in it. Who can't do that? Who can't call pending? You can call pending? It's right here, guys. Come on, seriously? It's right here. You see what Kevin, you like this? This would be good for the military, right? I kind of did. It's all adapted from Brian Tracy's goals, how to get everything.
You ever want it faster than you ever thought possible.
When people can complete your sentences, they're on the same page as you. So I want this delegation. So this is a fun. This is a bad consequence. It'll delegate non-A tragedies or tops. So this is like down deep in the A, B, C, D, E talk. Delegate as much as you can, as quick as you can, especially if you can pay. If look, this is the $20 million income. This is $20 million income. Everything in between there is less than $20 million a year.
That's huge.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So try to delegate stuff that you say, I can pay. Man, it's got to be somebody really smart. How much would you have to pay him? I'd probably have to pay something like $60,000 to do that. Great. You don't want to make $60,000, do you? No. Then pay them $60,000. Because if you don't pay them to do $60,000, you are earning $60,000. You say, well, it only takes a minute. Well, you're making $60,000 for that minute. It only take an hour. For that hour, you're only making $60,000 salary, not $60,000. You're making $60,000 divided by 50 divided by 40.
Wow.
60,000 divided by 40 divided by 60,000. That's the way I figure out my salary. 60 divided by 50 weeks divided by 40 hours a week. It's worth $30. So that hour, you're getting paid $30 to do that. You know damn well in that hour, you could close a deal, Adam. And you know that deal, what's your average deal profit or gross?
About 750 right now. 750 to 1,000. Yeah.
So if you're paying yourself $30, if you're not paying somebody else to do it, you say, well, here's the problem, Andy. I don't have 40 hours of work. Okay.
I said, well.
So you don't have I don't have 40 hours. It's only 15 or 20 hours. I don't have to pay somebody full time. But the quality of person I need is 40,000. They're 40,000. Okay? Let's do 40,000 divided by 50 divided by 40. That's 50 weeks. I give them 2 weeks off, 40 hours a week. It's $20 an hour. So I only have 15 hours. So 20 times 15, that's only 300 a week. So you want to hire somebody for 15 hours and pay them 300 a week. The problem is a person that makes $30 an hour needs more than $300. Mm-hmm. So if you are willing to pay 40, does that right? Let's do it again. 40,000 divided by 50 divided by 40 is $20. So somebody makes $20 an hour. They want to make 40 grand. They don't want to make 20 times 15, which is $300. They want to make it. So are you willing to pay 40? It's 40,000 out of your pocket. First of all, in this bandwidth, can you find more stuff for them to do at 40 grand? In other words, I know it's only 15. I'm going like, seriously? Seriously? You don't have 15 hours worth of stuff? In my life now, I have stuff that I don't want to do. Oh, by the way, I'm working hard on recruiting this guy. This guy that came to get the Bentley. God, I like him. Program my mirror so the garage door opens. Taking my car to get an oil change. He's first class service. Jay's like, I found somebody to come get our cars. So I'm like, what? We don't have to drop them off. We don't have to tell somebody to take them. And like Mac does a lot of my stuff at home. I was like, oh, this is an exciting day in Florida. And I was talking about how we like to code our cars. If y'all don't know about this, you buy a brand new car. I ain't trying to make myself look poor. I got a 2016 Maybach. It's like a $120,000 car. The car looks unbelievable, but I think we paid like $1,000 or $2,000, maybe $3,000 to code it. And the guy's like, I can get it coded. I'll take it to this great place. And I was like, dude, fired up out of my mind. And I gave him 2 books. I gave him Circle View and I gave him the Safe Money. I sold him on a product. I sold him on attitude. Delegated my car. Do you have 40? If you say I only got 15 hours in, 15 hours worth of stuff, okay, God, pay him 40. Go ahead and give him 40,000. But Andy, he really only worth $300 a week times 50. He's really only worth 15,000. I go, I know. So you're overpaying. I bet you start finding stuff he could do once you put out that $800 a week pay. You run a guy, I don't know about you, but I give you $800, you're going to do something. You ain't going to sit around 40 hours. You go, hey, rake the yard, something. You know what I'm saying?
Pick up the dry cleaning.
Yes. It does not, some people think it deteriorates their lifestyle by not getting the dry cleaning themselves. Like, you wouldn't believe how many people, I don't say women, but it's men too, that just refuse to let somebody else clean their house. Okay, that's my delegation talk. Let's go back to you. Kevin, couple tips, brand new people on Adam's team and Rojas' team. Not your people. You're talking to his people so you can talk freely. Advice for them.
Yes, sir. So last night, Mike Leventovich had us on a call with Mark Aceta, and one of the things he talked about was timing. And I think my timing was perfect. The week I came in, a couple weeks later, was a conference. And so getting Mike getting me to that conference changed my trajectory. So the first thing I would tell anybody is you got to get to the conference. You got to get there. It's like it doesn't, I can't even put it into words. At the conference, people always ask me, well, how did I do what I do? I stole everything. Whatever Marcus Richardson said on stage, I wrote it down and I practiced it in the mirror until I could say it freely. Whatever Gina Hawks, I sat down with Gina Hawks. I said, how do I sell this? And I wrote it all down and I practiced it till I could sell it. I talked all the time to Mike and Noel. Hey, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to learn this. So over communication, but I didn't make anything up. My script I got from Mike and Noel. Everything I learned, I got from somebody else, and that interaction at the conference helped me get there. And the second thing I'll tell anybody is action. Like, it's one thing to hear all of this stuff and get fired up out your mind and then go home and sit on the couch. No, you got to buy some leads and get out there and get in front of clients. They need our help. You're doing them a disservice by not helping them, and somebody else is going to help them. Why not you get paid for it? So 2 easy things. Go to conference and take action.
I'm posting this on agency manager WhatsApp right now. That's what your books, if you get chosen, your success story, your come from behind story, how it's changed stuff, this is what your book's going to look like. Is that good?
Yes, sir.
It's got a, I do better. It's better. It's got of the jet. It's got kind of a etch sketched, and it's going to pop a little more. It's one of the things I'm going to do is make it pop a little more. But this is not going to come out until we get some great success stories of fun. Talk about, it's 24/7, not working. It's fun. Another way to say it would be like, I'm all A's. That's why I got A's all over my jet. The Alliance, I'm all A's. Whether it's fun or whether it's food, baby. I ain't don't bring me. No, I ain't eating there where they gonna bring. I'm gonna eat somewhere where they bring me the food. I ain't gotta get my food. A, baby. A game. A. One side of the jet has an A on it, the other side has a jet on it. Because you know why? Because I'm only doing stuff that has massive consequences. Ooh, this is good stuff, baby.
Love it, man. It really is.
Tuesday, Treasure Island. Wednesday, Fort Lauderdale. Thursday, Jacksonville. Then Orlando. So morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon.
Katerina is going to be at the event in Jacksonville. She's already placed her order for her ticket. She's going to be there. She's ready to go.
All right, listen. Today, 90 days from now, it bothers me, Adam, if I talk to a person in your group, it's been with you 2 or 3 days, and I say something about April, and they go like, I don't what's in April? Or I hadn't heard nothing about it. You said, well, I told them. I go, I don't know if you told them. You might have think you told them, but you didn't tell them. Like communication. If they say, yeah, I know, I already bought a ticket. Adam's been telling me about it. Like, you only been in a day and you already got a ticket. Yeah. I'm going to go like, see what I'm saying? In other words, their job is to listen to you and cooperate. But your job is to get them to listen to you and cooperate. In between today and the end, April, we're going to try to sell as much as we can, recruit as many people as we can, and have as much fun as we can. That's why that meeting in Fort Lauderdale stops at 6. I'm getting ready to have some fun. Okay? Fun. If something's really, really tough, I got lost right there. 24/7, fun. I don't even know what I was talking about. I got time for me to hang up.
We're going to have some fun.
I got hung up on fun. We're gonna kill it. We're going in. Oh, between here and there, it's 24/7. Between here and April 21, 22, 23. But we got to get other people to put that deadline. The way we get them to put that deadline in their life is buy a ticket, get a hotel. Hotels have not been announced, by the way, so don't reserve a hotel yet. Get their flights, everything for that April. Then we sell as much as we can possible. What if they ain't got no money and they fine, but get them to put it on their calendar and plan on it, and let's get them to sell as much. As soon as they sell and get some money, let's take that money and put it down. We've been helping a person. This person, I don't know who we're talking about, but it's a compliment or whatever. They're like, "Hey, my agent needs a ticket. Could you help?" Sent them a screenshot of what they made last month and said, "Yeah, we can help. There's where some money is." You follow what I'm saying? In other words, they know they're going to go to the event. Let's just selling and recruit now, and then take some of that money they make and tell them buy a ticket, Screenshot that, we used to couldn't do that. Now we screenshot how much money they made and say, hey, let's invest. Okay, guys, y'all are very helpful. We'll clip this down and edit it and put some stuff together, but great tips. Congratulations on your success, guys. You're just getting started. Rojas, proud of what you're doing, man. Your team, Big Mike. Big Mike's high on the list to get up to be a trainer also. And I look forward to seeing both of you guys train as we've seen Rojas. That's going to be crazy. All right. I'm out.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you.
Love y'all.
Love you too.